Welcome to Line Transects 101. I'm Nicole Masters from Integrity Soils.
And I'm Meagan Lannan from Integrity Soils.
Before we do any action, I believe, on farm or on ranch, we want to know what our why is. Why on earth would we waste time, spend time, invest energy into something like a line transect? And the reason that I think they're important is that we're able to track changes over time. Are we moving the system forwards, or are we actually moving the system backwards? And what I like about this is it just gives us a point reference that we can come back over time and be seeing. Yeah.
And do you do it the same place every time? Do you change it?
Every time. So when we're thinking about setting up, and we'll do this in a minute, I think, when we think about where we want to be, but that's an important consideration, is where is it going to be? How often are you going to be monitoring? I don't think we should be monitoring for monitoring's sake. Like, you might only ever do this once every 5 years. Personally here, once every 2 seems to be tracking pretty well. Actually, we have done it every year. We had Jonathan Lundgren last year come and do that.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
He took our skip year for us. But yeah, it's the storytelling. Can I really demonstrate and put my money where your mouth is? So I can put my money where my mouth is and actually be able to demonstrate that I'm not just talking and saying, yeah, I'm improving this ecosystem. Actually, we can demonstrate that. So on a line transect, we're going to be looking for soil and above ground indicators.
I think it also informs, and I think this is what you're saying, but what management is really working.
Yeah.
And so you can really look at, I guess I don't need to do X, Y, and Z because it's really not moving the dial, like you said.
Yeah. And I've been on some operations where things have been improving and they feel really good about that, and then they stop monitoring and the system is starting to decay because what they were doing, they got prescriptive, do the same thing every year and not really notice that actually the system's been sliding. And then having someone come back 5 years later and go, oh wow, you've gone back from where you were 5 years ago.
So it's almost, it's a reward basically to see where your results are.
I like it. It's a reward.
It's yeah.
So you're going to think that after we do basal density in the
Which
heat
is my
of the
favorite.
sun.
You will hear lots of whining and complaining.
Excellent.
If you have kids, this is where basal density, they come in on that. So what do we have here? What is this pile of stuff?
So this pile of stuff is the stuff that I would say is non-negotiable in terms of the sampling that we're about to do. We use Soilmentor. We worked with VitaCycle in developing. It's a phenomenal piece of software that we can track these. But one of the things we want to look at is your bricks for plant photosynthesis with a refractometer. So make sure that you have one of these. These are not expensive.
Where can I get one like that though? With the copper in it.
The copper in it.
Or whatever.
You could get this off our website. But yeah, honestly, they're cheap as chips.
And you said that it has to be heavy. It's a heavy one?
It's a heavy one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
So if I'm online and I'm looking, do I need to get one that does say with?
So you want it to say ATC, which means that it's temperature controlled, calibrated as the temperature changes. Yeah. And
is there a difference if I have crops or if I'm doing like rangeland?
No.
The readings.
If you've been using these, a lot of people have them if they're involved in the wine industry. They'll have them for measuring ripeness. Those ones are fine. The ones that aren't fine are the ones for honey or beer.
Oh, okay.
They just go up to too high a range and then they're harder to read.
Okay.
Garlic crush. Choose your own garlic crusher. I'll show you another one soon. You're going to lose your mind. We need, obviously, measuring tape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Home Depot.
Home Depot. These are 3-foot rules. We found that out the hard way. I thought they were meter. You know, we alternate here between.
Those are good old American units. Freedom units, yardsticks.
I prefer a meter. If we can work in metric, that's preferable. You're going to need a mallet for your infiltration rings. You can just buy these online. You can make your own out of stainless steel. If you've got good soft soil, you can use a PVC pipe and just bevel the edge. It's lovely and beveled. Hardwood to bang that in. You're going to need some water. You're going to need a sampling tool, soil probe. We've marked in here that 6 Now I say inches. Yeah, 4 inches and 6 inches, depending on the sampling that we're going to be doing. So that's 15 centimeters to 10 centimeters. These aren't very expensive either. You need a marker, 2 buckets, and a shovel. And when I
Mineral
find my
bucket,
shovel,
micro bucket.
yeah, that's helpful for people.
Oh, and the shovel is important
Yeah,
because you don't like.
I don't like this one, but we're going to use it.
Yes. What do you like? Where it's square on the bottom?
I just want a wider one. I want like 200 millimeters.
Great, we're bouncing around. Just do some math. Just do some
do
math.
math. 8 inch wide. That's going to help us do our squares. So we want a nice square sampling when we're doing our visual soil assessments. So this is essential.
What's this?
That's a piece of canvas, very helpful for laying your tools on it so you don't lose them, but also when we're looking at some of the soil structure, we can lay that on your sheet of canvas.
Because when you're counting worms or something.
Counting worms, chuck them on it. A little nicer than, something hard and hot. Now these are optional. So, and they're more expensive, right? So good old penetrometer. So this is to measure soil compaction as we go down the line. This can be, I think, one of the more powerful tools where we really see changes happening. Is that soil starting to loosen up? You can buy some pasture shears to cut, taking your samples, your leaf samples, or also when you're clearing the soil to take your infiltration, or you can just get some shears like this. Where did these come from?
We ordered those on the internet.
On the internet.
I think a gardening store is where we got those.
They're pretty nifty.
Yeah. But if you had scissors.
Scissors are fine.
In a pinch.
Yeah. Stainless steel.
Oh, how come?
Because, very good question. You don't want to be contaminating with other things that are in scissors, iron, minerals. There's a lot of stuff. So
because it'll
throw off your tests.
Everything. It's like baking.
It is like baking.
Okay.
But for us, more fun.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Let's go. I'm going to find like a 0 point somewhere in the field where I'm interested in diagnosing. So typically we're going to choose 2 transects on the same soil type. And this is my point marker for where I'm going to start rolling the tape out. But the reason I don't start this as my first site for sampling is what you find is animals will often tread more around where there's a marker. I'm standing around it as well. I'm going to put the marker in a place that, like this, is easy to find. It's right by my spigot. And we're going to run it 30 feet before we actually start our transect.
Couldn't I just start it on the spigot?
You could. Yeah, you could.
Oh, okay.
You could have your spigot as your 0 point. I think we did this before we actually had and that's the thing, things change.
Yes.
But I was kind of looking at where things might change, and this seemed like an area that wasn't going to be managed as much.
And how did you mark it?
I've just put an ear tag with a
cow
nail.
Tag.
A
Okay.
cow ear tag and a big, sturdy, massive steel nail.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's been in the ground now for 2 years, and it's looking pretty good. Right? And you could write your name, your transect on it, which this did, and now it's washed off. So we could rewrite it. I know some people make their actuals have a steel post, also knowing that animals are going to push up on it and trample all around it, but a steel post at least you can find. Some of my cropping operations will actually have this on a fence post.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk it 30 feet off or 10 meters off that 0 point.
Okay.
So then I'm not on the headland, or I'm not on an area that's getting a lot of traffic, right?
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take this 0 point.
Make sure you know where you're starting.
Know where you start, know how to find it.
Okay.
I'm going to GPS it. You are going to work together.
Yep.
And we're walking towards our 0 point, which is...
What if you don't have a friend?
Well, there's groups for that. Yeah. So we don't need friends. You really don't. And you don't need a friend for this. It's helpful that you're here. So if you weren't here, then I would be tying this to that 0 point.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk 30 feet. The edge of my transect here, I was aiming for something that I'm hoping isn't going to change.
Okay.
So it's a line somewhere that I'm walking on the same soil type, but I'm walking on a line towards a point of interest that I know is not going to change.
Okay.
So I'm really hoping that the building next door isn't going to go away anytime soon.
Okay.
It does also line up with some points in the landscape. So you could look towards a mountain, if you had a permanent fence, the center of a pivot if you were doing something like that, but find your permanent mark. So in this situation, the permanent mark is the top end of the brown roof. So you're walking towards the top end of the brown roof. And
you know how I set fence, right?
I've seen you, yes.
It's not good.
So you're just going to do it and I'm going to help direct you. And this is where friends are helpful. I want your arm out to the right.
Oh, God.
Right, so then that will stop you walking on your transect.
Oh, okay. You ready?
So yeah, I want you to step one more step to the right. Excellent. Now walk.
That? Okay.
Okay, and we're looking and seeing when we get to 30 feet.
Oh, am I looking?
Yep, because I can't see it.
30 feet.
Cool. Stop. Excellent. Straight down. And you're going to put your pin in there. Brilliant. Try and keep it as tight as you can, but to the right. Go right more. Right more. Yep. Perfect. All right, then pull it tight and yeah.
Okay, I don't have a pin.
That's what I'm saying. That's good. They can just stay there.
Okay.
So we choose 100 feet or 50 meters, and 50 meters does not equal 100 feet. However, we're going to do quite a lot of measurements that involve working off the half. So we might be on half a meter or half a foot. And so if, or 1 or 2 feet, it's going to be much easier if it's something that you can split in half than trying to make them equivalent, if that makes sense. So it's more about being consistent with your decision making. So if I say, all right, we're going to be on 100 feet, you're just going to stay on 100 feet for your different transects. Good job.
Did it.
Did it. Okay, we're going to do the infiltration first.
Yep.
You're going to use Soilmentor to record some of these notes about where you're going to take some of your samples. So at the 20 feet mark, I'm going to take an infiltration test. I've got my yardsticks here, and I'm going to add 10 centimeters to help me deal with my metric obsession. Is we're going to bang in a infiltration ring. Now, I've just noticed that the site I want to dig it in there's a depression here, so this is not going to be where I'm going to choose it to be. So I might just put it here instead, and I'm going to take a photograph and just record that so I know that's where that sample was taken. Before I bang this ring in, or before my beautiful assistant bangs the ring in, is we're going to cut away any additional pasture, grass, anything that's growing. If you're under a vine, just cut anything away.
Why do you do that?
So if there's a whole lot of thick grass in there, it's going to capture the water. It's going to make it really hard to see what's happening under there. Probably just interferes with the reading.
And you don't want to pull it.
Don't pull it. Never pull it. And because if you do that, you're going to disturb the surface and you're going to change your actual infiltration reading.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Close your ears.
Close your ears. So notice you're going in on an angle.
Yeah,
you probably want to correct at some point. Yeah.
Now is it straight?
Yeah. It's getting there.
Keep going?
Keep going.
Because I'm not even.
There you go. That's it. It can be hard sometimes to get through that top layer. And this is where you can use a pen knife or something really sharp just to help get through, because sometimes thatch, it'll just bounce.
Yeah.
And you get those, like those blue grama grasses, it'll bounce.
I have to tell you, this is a lot better than the first year.
Yes. Now, we know for a given size ring how much water you want, right? So for a 6-inch ring, it's 456 mils. So a typical water bottle, if there's slightly less in there, you can also measure using your ruler. I kind of know like where it is on my finger. So when I put my finger in the ground, I know that that's where the inch is.
Okay.
or you could just do that and measure it. Some people like to use plastic. I don't like cellophane or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's weird.
Saran wrap.
Yeah.
So what I do is just use my hand.
Okay.
And what you're trying to do then is prevent the slaking that happens. So slaking means that the soil surface will collapse if you put a lot of water in there all at once.
So if I were just to dump the bucket in there.
Yeah, it jams it up.
Jams it up. Okay.
It fills the pores.
So you want something to slow it down.
Slow it down.
Okay.
Okay, you can put your hand in there.
Like that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it lovely and cool?
Feels good.
Right, and we've got our timers running. Lovely. So as that first inch goes in, we're timing it. I want to notice, are there little bubbles? Is there something that's kind of...
We've got bubbles.
Yeah, like the water going down. Often that can indicate there's actually like a bigger hole or a crack. So I want to see smaller bubbles rather than big bubbles.
Like there might be a gopher hole under there.
Yeah, there could be. Hopefully you'd see that.
Oh.
But if it was going in really fast, then that would be concerning. Now, a lot of people just do 1 inch. Don't do that. I want you to do the second inch is the one that counts.
Okay.
So sometimes what will happen is, like here we've got quite a lot of manure and litter and stuff that can just absorb the water. And if your soils are really dry, it just absorbs that top inch. And it might give you a false reading. Then we want to look at what happens with the next inch. So the second inch, when that goes in, do we see that moving through relatively quickly? And if not, then we know that we've got some problem. It might be water repellent soils, lots of different reasons, right?
So if this first... Do I need to sit here and watch this water infiltration when the first one's going in, or can I go do something? Because we do have a timer on it, so you're recording the first.
Yes.
Okay.
What I find is I forget and then I miss it. It happens a lot. Or we've also had the dog comes and drinks it. So if you're going to walk away, if it is quite slow, then I'm going to put something on it just to avoid dog licking.
Okay.
It's real. The pain is real.
That will not be accurate.
No, so that's really slow. Yeah. So this is why we do the infiltration as the first thing on our transect, because it may be quite slow. So we're going to start setting up to get ready for other things, and we can come back and check on it.
So what would you get ready for next?
What is next on our fancy list?
Oh, because you're just going to follow Soilmentor.
Oh, we're just going to follow Soilmentor.
Goes right down the list for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're going to dig a hole.
Excellent. That means I go get the shovel. I'll be back.
When we've finished our infiltration tests, we want to dig them up and see how well is water moving through that profile. Like I want to see it nice and even, or is it just stuck in that top layer? That's going to tell you a lot about that water function. Yes, kicking does help. And hopefully the soil does come out with it. If not, just fine. I'm still going to dig just through the middle of it. Which is where your flat shovel comes into. Because sometimes what you'll find is the water might have just run down the sides. But here we can see that actually that water has run really evenly through the whole profile.
What are you doing?
No,
what
I
are
really
you doing?
don't.
Scissors in a bag.
Scissors in a bag. So stainless steel sampling along the transect after we've done our basal density.
Yes, which was awesome.
Yeah.
You know it's my favorite.
I know it's your favorite. And I'm sampling desired grasses. So in this case, that's my western wheat and smooth brome.
What do you mean by desired? Do you want to grow more?
It's the grass I want to grow more of.
Okay.
This here is a Russian rye. It's allelopathic. It's not very palatable. I want to grow less of this. So I'm not sampling this for my desired plants.
Okay.
Preferably, if you know your grasses, for this exercise, we're just sampling one species. And then what we're also going to sample is the undesirable. So in here, there's quite a lot of madwort, which I've never sampled before. So
yeah.
I might send in a sample of madwort.
So do you mean undesirable could just be a weed? Could I send in weeds?
Yeah, you could send in weeds. So there's quite a lot of nodding thistle coming up, so I'm going to sample nodding thistle. The labs love it. The only thing I don't sample and send to a lab would be stuff that's like a highly toxic contact weed.
Oh.
I'm just careful about that. Like even leafy spurge, anything that would, you're going to have to tell the lab you're sending it in. But I think thistles would be great. Even nettles.
So what do these, when I take the desirable and I send it in for plant tissue test,
Yeah.
and then I send in a weed for plant, why would I do both of those, and what are they telling me? Like, what's the point?
There's a third one we're doing as well, which is legumes.
Ooh, okay.
Legumes. So we're going to look for any legume on the transect. When we did the basal density, I don't think we saw any. And we are looking for, are those plants sort of reaching their genetic potential? Are they healthy and thriving? And who's healthier? So we want to see, like, are those weeds actually outperforming your desired plant? But also some of our weeds are what we call dynamic accumulators. So what they are really high in might be what your soil is really low in.
Yeah.
And they're trying to heal it and regenerate it. So if we can figure out what that particular weed's trying to regenerate, we can do it out of a job.
Okay, so then you could plant desired grasses that will grow with where the weed's growing.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Could. So we could, let's say it was in a particular weed family, you could plant a desirable that's in that same family.
Cool.
So it's doing the same job, but it's something that you may want to harvest or grow commercially or whatever.
Okay.
So we're trying to figure out what these plants are telling us, and by sampling the weed, it's going to give us a lot of information about soil function.
Okay, so you just did desired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you're going to do a bag and clip some
Undesired.
Yep.
And
then another bag for legumes. But if you do not find a legume on the transect,
then we're not sampling the legumes.
okay.
No.
We cut the desired grasses. Can I just seal this up and send it off?
Yeah, so for grasses, I'd actually keep the bag unsealed, and we have a paper towel that we can put in there. You can also use paper bags to collect these, and the reason for that is they can get moldy if there's a little bit of moisture that builds up, and it can be kind of gross.
So leave it open.
Leave it open.
Do I get the paper towel a little bit wet?
No,
Or just dry.
Dry.
Okay.
In there. And we're going to send it away on a Monday or Tuesday. We're not going to send it away Thursday, Friday. Okay, so these samples, I want them to go fresh.
Okay.
You're not helping. Yeah. When we're sampling as well, you want to look for anything that's an anomaly. So this potentially are urine patches. And so you can see the difference in the color. So when we sample, you're going to get a different...
So does that mean I have to take everything out of my bag?
Not everything, just most of it.
Oh! Okay, good thing it's right on top.
Yeah. So yeah, sample between the patches.
Anomaly, whatever, it's dark green.
Anomaly.
Can't use it. Oh, is that dark green? Whew, I almost got a dark green. No. God, I'm afraid I'm going to cut my finger off with those things.
They're sharp. Yeah, you want about a cup of grass.
A cup?
Cup. Often, if we're moving up and down the line, we're going to stay on the right-hand side, you choose, but then it means I'm not walking on anywhere I might be sampling, testing, basal density, whatever that is. If you have a plant that you're interested in, and maybe like the thistles, and they're not on this transect, I'm still going to sample them just from around the area. And one of the other tests that we are going to do is, if you have livestock, is to actually do a mixed sward. So you're going to have a different bag that's going to carry like a mixed percentage of what you find on this transect anyway. The This transect doesn't have a lot of diversity, so it's going to be easier. We're just going to do one sample, but for instance, you might be in a mixed pasture situation and maybe there's chicory and plantain and different types of grasses. Is sample like you see the cattle beast eating, and then put that into the bag and send that in to the lab, and then that will go into the Diet Decoder project that we're going to do later on when we're looking at animal health. So what we're doing right now is diagnostics on plant and soil health. So we're just sampling one plant, so one desired grass, one undesirable forb or plant, whatever that is, and one legume, if you can find it.
Desired grass, paper towel, about a cup, along the transect, done. Check.
But we're building quite a database now of non-desirable plant indicators, which is pretty exciting. So your own sampling will contribute to this database. We can just build the weed literacy. So whenever we're sampling, we just want to make sure it's not too low and we're not getting any soil in there contaminating. Generally, contamination, you can tell your iron will be higher, but it'll mean it'll lift your molybdenum and cobalt and other trace elements. Nice. Thistle party.
Not that we're comparing, but her plants are fluffier.
Yeah. It's not a competition. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk along our sample transect. When you've divided this by 100 and done your basal density, you've kind of used to, coming along every, 2 feet or half a meter, depending on when your sample is. For this exercise, you probably want about 20 cores. So along 100 feet, you're going to take a core every 5. It's every 5.
I would have done it.
Every 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Every 5
meters.
Copy.
Okay. So we're going to take 2 different cores here. One is going to be for the mineral. The mineral goes down to 6 inches. Ding, ding. Top one. Excellent.
One. The hard one.
And I'm going to do the soil microbiology, which goes down to 4 inches, 10 centimeters.
Easy one.
So when we do our samples, you just want to make sure that you're scuffing off any of this litter or manure in this case before you take your sample. We don't want to be sampling this pile of detritus. We want to get down to the actual clean soil surface. If you are on gumbo or muskeg or peat, there's just different considerations. You know what you're on. But yeah, you're going to be sampling a lot of organic matter in that. So if you do maybe on the left-hand side and I'll do on the right, and we can just run it.
So can I use my hand?
No.
Really?
Seriously?
I want to do it right.
No, okay, use your foot. The foot, boot. No bending over. You want to save your back on this as well.
No, really, don't use your hand.
Don't use your hand.
Because why? Because you're putting stuff in there you don't want in there?
Because you'll be too slow. I want it scuff, probe, scuff, probe,
scuff, probe, scuff, probe. Got it?
Quick.
Gosh.
Okay. Right. Sometimes you need to twist it. Sometimes, hopefully, your soil's not too hard and get down in there.
Oh, yeah, look at me go. Yes.
Okay, who ate there? Wheat Bix for breakfast. Right, and so sometimes what you notice is the soil actually compresses a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're still going off this reading on the on that wherever your mark was for 4 inches. Even if it's compressed a little bit, then stop. Right. Your sampling height might be here, but see the soil inside's compressed. It's the amount of clay in it. So we still go down to the black line inside that matches the outside. So we're still going down to 4 inches in this case. Even if that compresses to 2 inches.
Okay.
Right? So if it was a really heavy clay soil, you might only have 2 inches in that, even though you've sampled down to 4. That's fine. Just put your 2 inches in there.
Now, some people use a screwdriver to poke it back up.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
These soils
I've done that.
are
I want to make sure it wasn't
relatively
bad.
heavy. Oh. So yeah, a screwdriver might be a good idea. Yeah, especially when they compress.
Ta-da! Okay. Doing it.
Okay, go.
So we're 10 feet.
Yeah.
I can do math. Okay. What if I land in the middle of a large plant?
Right, you're going to sample through it, and then you're going to cut off the top layer with your knife or whatever you've got. Oh yeah, it is difficult. And then sometimes, where's that melon? Soils might be really tight. And then I will use them.
I can do it. I think I'm almost there.
That, yeah.
I think I'm almost there though, honestly.
I think with a lot of these senesce plants, it's probably just going to be roots in there.
Yeah. Okay, Cole.
Let's say there was a bunch of compost or organic material or the top of the plant or the leaf material, then you can actually just get a knife and just chop that top bit off and throw it away.
Okay.
Yeah, and then your sample's good.
So then I got it.
Then you got it. So check with your lab. Like different labs might say different depths, so you need to just double check. This seems to be standard. A lot of sort of conventional agronomy tests are shallower because they are just more interested in fertilizer, perhaps, and felt like their roots weren't going down that deep anyway. Our goal is that your roots are going to get deeper, so we would like to see at least 6 inches. So yeah, if it's like a 10 centimeter or 4-inch standard soil mineral test, we'd like to standardize that to 6 inches or 15 centimeters. So yeah, any leaf material that you pick up or organic material, just throw to the sides. Sticky. When we're thinking about the length of our transect, we're recommending 100 meters, 200 feet. Obviously 100 meters is not 200 feet, but it's for your basal density, being able to divide something into 100 pieces. It's much easier to do 2 feet than 1.6 feet and try and do the math on that. So yeah, make sure your transect is 100 meters or 160 feet.
Someone very smart had done a lot of transects in compacted soils and hard soils. So they invented this thing called the humour probe, which is amazing. And it's supposed to make your life easier. It's like driving a fence post. But I would suggest getting one of these if you're having issues.
Yeah.
Then you just do that and it drives it down. So easy. I love it. There you go. Then you just take it out like your other soil probe and put it in your bucket.
You got the screwdriver?
Yes, I do.
These samples have been painful. 15 to 20 cores is fine, and then you're going to mix them in the bucket, take out any of the sort of bigger root material, just throw that out. And just kind of mix it up a bit more consistently. Because then what I'm going to take out, I'm only going to send away like a cup of soil, so it's more that soil has been
Where's your next hole?
evenly mixed from the 15 to 20 cores along the transect. So you're not sending them all your soil. I'm sure you could, but they do ask that you don't. So mix it up, and we're going to take a sample out of this lot.